Welcome to the Blind Loyalty Challenge. I am Amanda Cromhote from Truth Loyalty and the Blind Loyalty Trust. We interview world leaders in loyalty blindly. The challenge is about creating loyalty insight spontaneously and about a lot of fun. Simultaneously, it is about raising the awareness of the Blind Loyalty Trust, and 100% of the proceeds from my book, Blind Loyalty 101 Loyalty Concepts Radically Simplified, go towards the trust. We hope you enjoy the Blind Loyalty Challenge. Today's Blind Loyalty Challenge introduces a personality that needs no introduction. I'm in Cape Town and he's in Kuala Lumpur. I introduce Mark Ross Smith. He is the creator of Status Match and the CEO of Loyalty Status Co. Mark, we met a few weeks ago in Krakow, and now it's super to have you on the Blind Loyalty Challenge. Welcome.
Thanks, Amanda. Great to be here. We did a good chat and looking forward to a better one today.
Yeah, so I explained the background to the Blind Loyalty Challenge to Mark at the Comark user group in Krakow, and he was absolutely game for it. So let's put you straight in the hot seat. The first question is actually from someone from Comark. It's from Volchek Kempney. And his question, which I absolutely love, he's saying, with so many things in our world being taken over or enhanced with AI, what remains in your company or your portfolio that is completely untouchable by AI?
Completely untouchable. This is a good question. I like it. It's making me think. Should have had a few drinks before this. They say that in this age of AI, when you're creating a business, like, technology is no longer the differentiator because anyone can kind of code up and create something pretty quickly. I think in our business, there's probably three things that sort of stand out and do really well. One is data, data that no one else has. So we've done, more than 1 million status matches globally from, 30 plus airlines. So we sort of see stuff that no one else can get. So I like that. It's the first thing. Second thing is exactly what we're doing now. It's the personality, right? It's the personal brand. It's our company brand. I think we're pretty strong in this industry and what we do. Obviously, LinkedIn, all this sort of stuff, you as well. I think personal branding is something that AI doesn't really do. So that's a superpower in my eyes. And the third thing is probably the data again. Okay, let's make it two things.
That's good.
Probably those two. But I'll just sort of end on that part saying that, we're in the travel space, right? And travel's about, making people feel good and hospitality and all this kind of stuff. And 10 times out of 10, I would much rather a human smile at the other end of an interaction when you're checking into a hotel or on a plane or something, rather than a robot and saying, "Hi, Amanda, here's your tomato juice."
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's hold on to that. We all want the human touch without question. My second question, which is plumb to your role and to your company, chapter 59 of Blind Loyalty talks about tiers, to tier or not to tier. What is the dark side of tiers?
What does that mean? What is the dark side of tiers? Okay, I'll add this. So in airline status tiers, it's normally the top 5% of customers that have status, right? What it means is the bottom 95% don't, right?
Yeah.
And this is very deliberate. Like, there's one logic of, you should treat these people better. What about, let's say, the dark side, treating everyone else worse, right?
Yeah.
So I know everyone's a customer and we should welcome everyone into this, but sometimes it's, you've got to not treat someone else as good so you can have the opportunity to
differentiate.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have a wonderful quote in Blind Loyalty. I won't get it right word for word, from a retailer actually, who said his view of the dark side of tiers. And the chapter isn't about the dark side of tiers, but he says, why would we want to put everybody in a tier when some people already feel like they're on the bottom tier of life? So it's all a bit quite deep. But that was some of the sort of
psychology behind it, particularly in some markets where there's a lot of poverty and folks are struggling to keep on the breadline. But I think if you're talking about travel, hopefully that's not the case. My last question to you, chapter 76, really talks about the shift of frequent flyer programs, how they've moved from that traditional airline program to much broader ecosystems. What do you see as beyond where we are today as the future of FFPs?
I think it's going to come a little bit back to being frequent flyer programs again, rather than broad, uh, just loyalty programs. What like in our business, what we see is people with status, they spend more, they spend more often, they spend what we call the right type of money, right? It's the high yield, high margin money, and that's like it or not, that's where the profit is, right? It's not in you once a year going to visit grandma on $100 ticket, right? They
Mm,
airlines and hotels, they like the business travelers, right? And they're in a certain demographic, and it's been that way for as long as I can ever remember.
yeah,
Um, so I think the future will sort of start to like how do we maximize that? How do we really get the people that act like it or not, that really make the money? How do we really get them engaged again? You know, I think it's great that everyone can earn points or miles when they go shopping on their phone bill, or all this sort of stuff. I think that's great
yeah,
for the long tail effect. But I think there's going to be this resurgence on status, especially on what I'll call like the super tiers. It's like the
yeah,
above the platinum type thing, or specifically somewhere between like a base level, like you're just a member, and the first like silver tier, somewhere between there. I think we're going to see something in that space, to sort of capture more people, get them into the club a little bit earlier.
yeah. I love what you're saying about like the full circle at the end of the day. Sometimes the simple models are there, they've worked for years. They're going to, whilst there's all these evolutions of them at the moment, ultimately it's going to circle back because it works. It works for a reason.
It works and makes a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well done. Thank you, Mark. I knew you'd sail through. So give me a question to ask someone else.
All right, since we're on the status topic, if you had to kill points or status, which one would you kill off and why?
I love it. Okay, beautiful. And can you give me somebody who may answer that question or who I can talk to on the Blind Loyalty Challenge?
Yeah, I would like to. I think Himanth is currently the head of loyalty and rich at Malaysia Airlines. He would love this.
Amazing. Lovely. I'd look forward to chatting to him. Mark, thank you so much. Love chatting to you today.